Hello students, this is Shailaja Vibhute. In the last video, we have learnt about types of errors, how to calculate errors like say absolute error, relative error, percentage error. Today let us see how to calculate for combination of errors. In combination of errors, error of a sum or a difference will come and error of a product or quotient will come. For that there are some rules. So let us see first rule. First rule is when the quantities are added or subtracted, the absolute error in the final result is the sum of the absolute error in the individual quantities. To understand this rule, first let us represent it mathematically and then let us take one example. Say if z is equal to a plus or minus b. What is this a and b? These are two quantities. Whether means these quantities are added or subtracted. So a plus or minus b. Then the absolute error will be delta z is equal to delta a plus delta b. Now let us take one example so that clearly you can understand rule 1. Here is one example. Temperature of two bodies measured by a thermometer are T1 is equal to 20 degrees centigrade plus or minus 0.5. What is this 0.5? It is error in the measurement. And second temperature, that is T2 is equal to 50 degrees centigrade plus or minus 0.5. Find the sum and difference in temperature. So I have to find out difference and as well as sum in the temperature. Say if you are not aware of the error, how we used to do this one? Sum is very simple. Like you will add the terms T1 plus T2 you used to take. Means 20 plus 50. So your answer will be 70. Similarly, difference in temperature, how will you calculate? 50 minus 20, that is 30 degree. But here errors are given. 0.5 and 0.5 are given. So how to solve this one? First you calculate the error, absolute error you calculate. How to calculate absolute error? Let us represent it as delta t. So delta t is equal to delta t1 plus delta t2. What is this delta t1? It is error in measurement of first temperature. What is delta t2? It is error in measurement of second temperature. So why we have added here? It is according to the rule. Whether you are adding the term or whether you are subtracting the term, but always absolute error should be added. Okay, so delta t1 plus delta t2 you have to do. So you will get 0.5 plus 0.5 as 1 degree. Now take the difference t2 minus t1, that is 50 minus 20 is equal to 30. Similarly, take the sum t2 plus t1, you will get 70 degree. Now see, with error how to represent the sum. Sum is T1 plus T2, with error you have to write, that is 70 degree plus or minus 1. Similarly, difference will be 30 degree plus or minus 1 degree. Just observe this one. Even though it is a difference, okay, error is added. Okay. Absolute error is added. Even though difference of the number you have taken, but always error will be added. Here no problem because it is sum only, but little confusion in difference only. That's why make it clear whether you are adding the term or you are taking the difference of two terms, but always error will be added. Plus or minus 1 degree only you are writing. Otherwise what would have happened? Difference you are writing, correct? So 50 minus 20 is 30. Fine. Then 0.5 minus 0.5 will be 0. While measuring it has error, but when you are finding this difference, that time no error. It is meaningless. That's why according to the rule, whether you are adding the terms or whether you are subtracting the terms, error should be always added. This is first rule. Okay. Now let us see for second rule. Second rule is when two quantities are multiplied or divided. Means you are multiplying and you are taking the division. Since you are multiplying and you are dividing the terms, that's why relative error will come. When you are adding and subtracting, absolute error. When you are multiplying and dividing, relative error will be there. So when two quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in the final result is the sum of relative errors due to individual quantities. What is meaning of this one? Let us see first mathematically. If Z is equal to A into B, two quantities are A and B, multiply it, you will get A into B. Or say you are dividing, Z is equal to A divided by B, then relative error can be written as delta Z divided by Z for first term is equal to delta A divided by A plus delta B divided by B. In both the cases, like in multiplication as well as in division, the relative error will be delta A by A plus delta B by B. For this, let us take one example. The resistance R is equal to V divided by I. When V is equal to 100 plus or minus 5 volt and I is equal to 10 plus or minus 0.2 ampere. Find the percentage error in R. So how to solve this one? First we have to write according to the rule number 2. So according to rule number 2, relative error is delta Z divided by Z. Here it is delta R divided by R. Okay. Since it is percentage error, so it is multiplied by 100. Okay. If it is relative error, this 100 is not necessary. You have to write only delta R divided by R. Okay. Since you are calculating percentage error, so you multiply it by 100. Otherwise, first you calculate delta R by R. For your final answer, you can multiply it by 100. Okay. Now here I have taken first only that into 100. Delta R by R into 100 is equal to, what is next term? V. So how to write? Delta V divided by V. What is next one? Divided by. Whether it is divided by or multiplication, you have to take plus only. So take plus. Okay. What is in the denominator? I is in denominator. That I you have to write it as delta I divided by I. Okay. Into 100. Fine. Now let us take next step. Substitute the values. In the given value, this is value of V and this plus or minus 5 is value of error. Error is delta V. Okay. So substitute the value. Delta V is 5 divided by V. V is 100. So 5 divided by 100 plus. What is error in I? 0.2 is error. So write 0.2 divided by. This first term given here 10. That is value of I. So 5 divided by 100 plus 0.2 divided by 10. Multiplied by 100 so that you will get percentage error. 5 by 100 can be written as 5%. 0.2 divided by 10 can be written as 2%. So if you add it, you will get 7%. Instead of writing 100, it is written as 7%. This is second example. Now let us go for next one, that is rule number 3. The relative error in the physical quantity raised to the power n is the n times the relative error in the individual quantity. What it means? Say if Z is equal to A raised to n. The relative error in the physical quantity raised to power n. So A raised to n is n times the relative error in the individual quantity. So it is delta Z divided by Z is equal to n times delta A divided by A. So for that you take one example. Very simple one. If z is equal to a raised to x, b raised to y divided by c raised to m. Find relative error in z. So how to write? Relative error in z is equal to delta z divided by z is equal to, what is first term here? A raised to x. That can be written as x into delta a divided by a. Okay? Plus. Because second term, next term is there, you have to take plus. Okay? According to rule number 2. What is next term here? B raised to y. How to write? Y into delta b divided by b. Fine? Then divided by, whether you are multiplying or whether you are dividing, you have to take plus only. So plus. C raised to m you have to take now. C raised to m can be written as m into delta c divided by c. Okay? Say one more term is there, d raised to, say for example n. Then you have to continue, plus n raised to, n into delta d divided by d. Like this you have to continue. It is very simple one, very easy one. Try to remember it. Okay? So these are 3 rules for combination of errors. Now let us see very interesting one, very easy one, that is about significant figure. So what is meaning of significant figure? The reliable digits plus the first uncertain digit are known as significant figures. Significant figures in the measured value of a physical quantity tells the number of digits which are trustworthy. Means what? Number of significant figure gives an idea of accuracy. Larger the number of significant figures, greater is the accuracy. There are some rules for counting significant figures. Now let us see these rules. First one, all non-zero digits and the zeros occurring between them are significant. Here one table I have taken, different examples are given there. Take first one, all non-zero digits and the zeros occurring between them are significant. So first example is 203. 0 is in between non-digit numbers, that non-zero digits, that is 2 and 3. So in between 2 and 3 0 is there. Now number of significant figure, if you want to check, all the 3 you have to take. So 3 is significant figure. Similarly, see the next example, 40608. Zeros are in between, but you have to count. So total number of significant for second one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. Okay. Now take decimal number 1.00564. After decimal point, 2 zeros are there, but again non-zero digits are written, so you count all, so that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is number of significant figure. Similarly, last one 608.809. So significant figure is 6. So this is rule number 1. Now rule 2 is zeros to the left. Whether the value is a decimal or non-decimal number, all zeros to the left up to the first non-zero digit are not significant. Okay. So now take examples here, 0.0070897. So this is decimal number, correct? If it is a decimal number, till you get non-zero digit, these zeros are neglected. Remaining you have to count. That is the meaning of rule 2. So 0.00 is neglected. Only 70897. So how many digits now? 5. So number of significant figure is 5. Now take second example, 002.3. So these 2 zeros you have to neglect. Only 2 digits you have to count. So significant figure is 2. Now see last one, 00604. So these 2 zeros you neglect, remaining you count, you will get 3. So number of significant figure is 3. Now see rule number 3, that is zeros to the right. In case of a decimal number, if it is a decimal number, all zeros to the right last non-zero digit are significant. They are not significant in case of non-decimal number. Means what? Take example now. 2.300. Okay. So it is a decimal number. It is decimal number. Now here, in case of decimal number, all zeros to the right last non-zero digit are significant. Last non-zero digit means here it is 3. After 3, 2 zeros are written. So all these are significant now. Means you count all the digits. So number of significant figure is 4. See next one, 6.00. Count all the digits, that is 3. 400. Here, if it is non-decimal number, they are not significant. So you have to count it as number of significant figure is 1. Okay. So these are about the significant figures. So this completes the chapter, that is units and measurements. Questions based on this one you will get it in PUC website. You can go through those questions so that you will be again little confident about the chapter, so that which type of question will come based on this one. Thank you.